People, when they first come into their work, are told, don't get too close to clients, and they have this us and them attitude. They have this real separateness and disconnection, and that's not good boundaries, because able to have good boundaries, you've got to connect with people. And over time, if people get too disconnected and they become cynical and they are numb to the work that they're doing, they actually can't do their job anymore. Having good, clear professional boundaries are similar to the idea of empathy, that you are able to see and validate other people, but you maintain your sense of self. It's like a fuzzy boundary, because it's true, it's not a hard line. So when clients are edging towards wanting to be friends with you, which is a completely normal reaction because everybody wants to attach to people that do good things in their lives, I would say, you know what, in any other circumstance, you and I would be friends. But because of the work we do, it can't happen. What you're saying is, you're important and I see you and you are worthwhile being a friend with, but you're also saying, it's not going to happen. A lot of people come into this work and work in social housing because of their lived experience, either of homelessness or housing instability or poverty or complex trauma. If they have healthy boundaries, that lived experience informs their practice. If they don't have healthy boundaries, they become entwined in the client's work.
We support some young tenants, and I'm a mum myself, and you can feel moments where you want to slip into that mum role. It's very hard to actually stop and put those boundaries in, because you know what it feels like, and you want to be able to help them really quickly and when they need it. And you just have to be mindful that if you do and you overstep that mark, you're not teaching them how to advocate for themselves. You end up doing things for them, and it's not helpful. Learning those boundaries is an ongoing process.
The big thing for maintaining really good boundaries is having a consistent and stable practice, because a lot of the clients you're working with, the nature of what's going on with them is chaotic and unpredictable and really unsafe. Safety is defined as consistency and predictability over time. So boundaries is something that's really grounded in safety. When you think of how to put this into practice, of actually looking at what good boundaries look like. So what they look like as habits, as attributes, and how you do them in your day-to-day practice. Basically, there are lots of little things that contribute to creating a safe environment. Being clear and transparent with everything that you do. It's being a good role model, and being a good role model doesn't mean that you're okay 100% of the time. It means that you're being consistent and trying to do your best. Is also being hopeful. Validating and understanding emotions as they arise, both in yourself and in others. It's also knowing what you do and don't know and can and can't do. Making sure that you acknowledge the power imbalance. So having good boundaries is there because you know a lot about their lives and they know nothing about yours. And that isn't the basis for a friendship. Understanding where your role finishes and where the client's life starts. So it's that idea of knowing what your duty of care is and knowing what dignity of risk is, which means that the clients can make their own wild decisions about their lives. It's having a quality staff around you, that they can hold you accountable. It's having that trust. In some places they call it psychological safety. The idea to have a staff and colleagues around you that can have robust conversations about difficult things that aren't personal attacks. And it's doing all of those things every single day. So it really is walking your talk. I always talk about the idea that this work is about being personally connected to the work you do. So personally connected to your ideas of social justice, ideas of people having the right to housing. And then the other side of that is not being personally involved. So you can see that zone of fabulousness at the top, or having healthy boundaries at the top, is a really thin edge of the wedge, because you don't want to topple over and be too personally involved, but you always want to be personally connected. So it's always a balance in between. And it's a lot of hard work. It's that idea that maintaining boundaries is actually a whole lot of maintenance and showing up and doing it every day.